Dangerous women? Yes, they exist. Over the years, we've had women who have led a reign of terror or for some other strange reason stand out for their fierceness. In reality, these women are even deadlier than some of the most dangerous men in the world. From a young woman that controlled the drug world for more than 3 decades and made millions of dollars during that time, to the young spy who wreaked more havoc than you can ever imagine. Here are 10 of the most dangerous women in the world. Before we dive into this list, make sure to leave a like on this video. Also, if you'd like to join this month's Star 5 giveaway of a brand new iPhone 13, then all you have to do is subscribe to our channel and watch this video until the end to find and comment the hidden message. Good luck! Number 10. Shashikala Ramesh Patankar. Shashikala Ramesh is undoubtedly one of the biggest female drug lords in the world. She successfully evaded police and Indian authorities for 30 years while engaging in the narcotics trade. Shashikala Ramesh began trading brown sugar and marijuana before she decided to take her game to the next level. She was soon involved in dealing with mephedrone, the most sought-after drugs in the suburbs of India. Many believed she could evade arrest through her police boyfriend, who soon got dismissed as a result of the discovery of mephedrone, worth an estimated $60,000 found in his locker. With her illegal proceeds, she owned many properties across India and millions of dollars stacked in different bank accounts. When she was eventually apprehended by the authorities, 22 of her bank accounts got frozen with the proceedings forfeited to the state. Number 9. Janine Jones. Of the few dangerous women on earth who are serial killers, you'd wonder why a nurse would enjoy putting children through gruesome deaths. Janine Jones found it amusing to test deadly injections in children under her care. She'd constantly inject children with succinylcholine to put them in grave cases and then experiment with the use of what she believed to be antidotes to see how they respond. Her first hospital where she worked found out about her actions but chose only to dismiss her. Perhaps they feared exposing her evil may give their hospital a bad name. In the end, Janine Jones got herself another job in another hospital and continued her obsession with toying with the lives of children. This experiment led to the death of many children in her new job. She was later caught and convicted of multiple murders by the court, which sentenced her to 99 years behind bars. Number 8. Estibaliz Carranza. Parting company with Estibaliz Carranza means your next home is a grave. The ruthless Estibaliz Carranza was popularly known as the Austria Ice Cream Killer, as she owned an ice cream store in Austria. Estibaliz Carranza's only goal in life was to have children of her own, and anything short of that means practically nothing to her. She was married twice, but unfortunately in the 2 marriages she couldn't get a child of her own. According to reliable sources, Estibaliz Carranza killed her 2 ex-husbands in the most gruesome fashion. Estibaliz Carranza could have gotten away with the murders, but some workers discovered the ruthlessly dismembered bodies of her exes in the freezer while inspecting her ice cream shop. After being arrested for the crimes, she soon realized that she was pregnant with a child for another man. Nevertheless, Estibaliz Carranza was sentenced to prison, but because of her rage, the prison authorities in Austria considered her too violent for the women's prison and had to move her to the male section where she's been staying to date. Number 7. Andre Yates. Andre Yates got popular in the US for executing one of the most terrifying self-inflicted homicides in the world. In less than an hour, Andre Yates successfully drowned all her 5 kids in a bathtub. You'd probably think she must have gotten really angry at some behavior exhibited by the children until you discover the youngest of them was barely 6 months old. Although Andre Yates had for some time been diagnosed with chronic mental health, her confession convinced the government attorney to demand a death sentence for her. Still, the judge was reluctant to pronounce the death sentence and instead condemned her to life imprisonment. Upon appeal, the ruling got overturned by a higher court. She currently spends her life in a mental hospital in Texas. Number 6. Brigitte Monapt. No one will ever wish to annoy a woman so ruthless enough to blow up your face while looking you in the eye. Such is the case of Brigitte Monapt. Many German natives regarded her as the most horrible and cruel woman in Germany. Brigitte Monapt was a terrorist belonging to the Red Army and was responsible for several plane hijackings, bombings, and assassinations of key government officials. Brigitte Monhaupt once had an unsuccessful attempt at blowing up an American military commander who was in the company of his wife with a rocket launcher. She was eventually arrested and sentenced to life imprisonment, but spent less than 24 hours in prison before she was later released. Many protested her release, especially because she never apologized for her actions. Although she's still alive and healthy, but because of her previous life and for her own safety, the government gave her a new identity which is believed to be concealed from the general public. Number 5. Idoia Lopez Riano. For several years, the Spanish government has had to worry about a notorious terrorist group called ETA that has claimed hundreds of lives. The group has been responsible for different killings and arson, and surprisingly, a woman named Idoia Lopez Riano was responsible for 23 of those murders carried out by the ETA terrorist group. Idoia Lopez Riano is popularly known as the man-killing beast. Her beauty was her greatest weapon. She'd lure many to bed and kill them afterwards. At some point, Idoia Lopez Riano dated a policeman so that he could allow her gang to kill his colleague. The policeman only found out on TV that he was dating a serial killer. As ruthless as she was, she also got so obsessed with her beauty and spent time nurturing her skin and hair as much as she'd kill a man. She missed out on taking a hit on a target assigned to her because she'd admired a cosmetics store all day. She was on the Spanish police radar for many years until she was caught. According to the indictment against her, the court sentenced the notorious serial killer to 1,500 years in prison for all convicted charges. However, in 2017, after spending only 23 years in prison, news filtered that Idoia Lopez Riano was released by the authorities on account of her good behavior, all through her time in the prison. Number 4. Samantha Lewthwaite. Have you ever heard of the White Widow? Samantha Lewthwaite got popular for not only engaging in multiple terrorist attacks, but she was also known as a notorious identity thief. At some point, she stole the identity of an innocent British nurse. You'll be shocked to know how she managed to commit several atrocities while moving across countries with her 3 kids. When she moved to Kenya in the African continent, she got constant surveillance by police after she settled in an apartment previously occupied by the wife of a notorious Kenyan terrorist. She soon became the most wanted woman in the UK and Kenya for links to the Al-Shabaab terrorist organization and her connections to multiple attacks carried out on the African soil. Her role was simple. She was either helping out with moving weapons or people while going undercover in one of her fake identities. No one knows her whereabouts to date. Many believe the Al-Shabaab terror group is perhaps protecting her in one of their mansions. Number 3. Colonel Fanet Umuraza. Despite possessing a university degree in political science, you'd wonder how a well-educated African woman who could have become a political sensation would become a ruthless warlord. Fanet Umuraza was a Congolese Revolutionary Army leader. She rose from being the second in command to the ruler of the rebel force. Being a woman didn't prevent her from being guilty of crimes like rape, torture, and murder. The Human Rights Watch published a nasty report of how Fanet Umuraza had forcefully recruited children into her army of rebels. She was known to lack the slightest empathy. A documentary exposed how Fanet Umuraza would spend time fixing and trimming her nails or getting a hairdo while she watched women, children, and the aged get tortured to death. Number 2. Siti Ayasia. She's perhaps one of the world's most ruthless assassins, who doesn't need a gun or hacksaw to take down her targets. Siti Ayasia got famous for the bold murder of the half-brother of the North Korean ruler Kim Jong-un. Jong-nam got exiled for opposing the tyrannical rule of his family. He soon got accosted by Siti Ayasia at the Malaysian airport. Perhaps he got enchanted by the beauty of Siti Ayasia, who wiped a piece of cloth on his face. In less than 2 hours of Jong-nam's encounter with Siti Ayasia, the runaway North Korean elite was confirmed dead. An autopsy revealed that Jong-nam got killed by a dangerous chemical weapon used on him by Siti Ayasia. To date, there's no official report whether Siti Ayasia was acting on a direction from North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. But what we do know is that Siti Ayasia currently is facing a death sentence in Malaysia. Number 1. Kim Hyun-hoi. Kim Hyun-hoi got recruited as a North Korean spy at 19. She was trained to speak Japanese and act like a Japanese woman. We bet it's the perfect cover for her job after all. Soon afterwards, she was sent by forces linked to the North Korean government to blow up a South Korean airliner. She was on board the plane with a stolen identity which the South Korean authority believed to belong to a Japanese woman. Her mission was to disrupt South Korea's bid to host an Olympic game by blowing up the airline containing mostly South Korean citizens. Kim Hyun-hoi got on board the plane with the aim of planting an explosive right inside the plane. After completing her assignment, she eventually went on board the aircraft when it stopped over in Abu Dhabi. The aircraft blew up moments after taking off again, killing all 115 on board. After due investigation, the security report shows that Kim Hyun-hoi was responsible for the attack. She was eventually traced to Bahrain. After her arrest, she confessed to having acted on the order of the North Korean government. She got pardoned after a few years in prison but never returned to North Korea. Today, Kim Hyun-hoi lives in South Korea, secluded, and still fears the North Korean government could hunt her. And with that, we end today's video. Who's the most dangerous woman you've ever met? Leave your thoughts down in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe and give us a like. And don't forget to turn on your post notifications so you never miss a video from Star 5. Thanks for watching.